didn't expect. In certain areas, again, the same thing. I was shocked because this is not at all going to be the right, not at all related to the question at all. So we will address those things.
Okay.
All right. Now, where do I start? Okay. First, a small theory is there on the Palo Alto firewall. I will get into it, and then we can dive into the other areas as well. Okay.
So a quick question before we
Yes.
start.
Yes.
Should I take like some notes, or are these gonna be documented and you email it to me, or?
See, these notes and all, when I type it, consider this as your whiteboard.
Okay, perfect.
Normally,
Okay.
normally what you
Okay.
do, you will be taking the notes, right? But I would recommend, please don't take the notes. After
Yeah,
the
I'll just okay.
uh, after the class, I will send this what is it called? This word pad to you.
Mhm.
What you have to do, what I am expecting from you is from this notes, you can rewrite whatever you want on your notebook.
Gotcha.
So two things are happening. One, your focus will not be out of my class when you're attending the class. The second
Mhm.
thing is you are revising it when you are rephrasing the notes into your notebook.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, if you feel that you want to take the notes as I take the class, you can, but you need to tell me that while you're taking the notes, please give me a minute so that I will wait.
No,
But there
I
will be
like
a
to be
break in between.
focused.
Yes, there
I
will be a
like to be
break in between.
focused, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to, and I'll take like I'll read these notes because I'm looking at it. So once you send it, I'll have the same image of it.
Yes,
Like, yeah,
yes.
I understand what was there, what was there. Okay,
What I do is I'll
perfect.
create a shared folder in OneDrive.
Okay,
I'll put the notes over there, and that folder you will be having access to it. And then every day when I take the notes, I'll save it and I'll put it in the OneDrive. Obviously, you can download it as and when it gets
appreciate
completed. All
you.
right.
Sounds good.
Okay. So first thing, what we need to understand, Palo Alto Networks approach to cybersecurity. Okay. I'll give you a small example on this. I do cook a little. Okay.
Mhm.
So what I normally do, let's say that I'm just going to be cooking biryani at home.
Mhm.
What I normally do is I'll prepare all the ingredients. I'll keep all the ingredients ready before I start cooking.
Okay,
Right? So I'll
right.
also measure each and every ingredient and keep them in a separate bowl.
Mhm.
So I have my ginger garlic paste. I have my pudina, mint. Mint, we call it as pudina here.
Pudina
So
on the mint. Okay.
you know pudina?
Mhm. No,
Pudina.
I'm just pudina on the mint. I'm learning.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. So pudina, whatever the component is required, and along with the measurement, I'll keep everything is ready. So that what will happen when I start cooking the biryani, I just need
Mhm.
to add the ingredients in a sequence, right? And I don't need to measure that by the time. So my cooking process is going to be very simple. Some people may do like what they don't want to keep every ingredient measured and keep ready. They will start cooking it and they will have this hand measurement. I'm not an expert cook. Okay. So what I normally do, I'll measure everything and keep it ready so that I can add it up. Whereas the professionals, what normally do, they don't measure it. My mom and all, she don't measure it anything. Salt means she'll pick it up in hand and then she will be adding it in the food. That's all. So similarly, every organization, every technology may have an approach towards something. So Palo Alto Firewall has various other technologies to support your infrastructure in safeguarding the data. Now, what is their approach towards it? That is what the first thing. The first approach is called as complete visibility. So if you don't have the mechanism to view what is going out and coming into your network, then how do you take a call whether it can be permitted or not? You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
See, first of all, the complete visibility of your infrastructure is supposed to be there. Only then you can take a call whether This can be allowed to pass through, whether it is going out or coming in, doesn't matter. So first thing is what? Complete visibility. So with the help of various mechanisms that we have in place in your Palo Alto firewall, it allows us to have the complete visibility of the traffic. Like what? We take the help of something called as app ID, user ID. We'll get into each and every topic, content
Mhm.
ID. So what basically does? Whatever goes out, whatever comes in, Palo Alto firewall can give you the information. This is what going out. This is what coming in. So that complete visibility you have, sorry, you have to have when it comes to securing your infrastructure. That's the first step. The second thing is reducing the attack surface, reduce attack surface. So by seeing this term, so is there anything, is there something coming to your mind? What is the attack
Reduce
surface?
attack?
Hmm.
No.
Reduce. Okay, what is attack
Reduce attack
surface?
surf.
What is attack surface, first of all?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay, fine. All right. Now, I have my campus. Okay, multiple buildings are there. Okay, multiple buildings. Consider these are all buildings. Assume them. My drawing would be very bad. Assume that these are all the buildings. Okay,
Okay.
and in these buildings, many companies are operating. Let's say, what's your favorite company?
Oh,
Is anyone? Okay,
Tesla.
okay. Let's say half of the building occupied by Tesla and half of the building occupied by Microsoft.
Microsoft. Okay.
Okay, and couple of companies are here and couple of companies are here. Since an IT park, and I also have a security booth here. Okay, so whomever goes in, whomever comes out can be monitored by them. But unfortunately, there is no compound wall for this IT park. What will happen?
So, of course, a lot of people can go from the other.
They can enter anywhere.
Yes.
Then what is
From
the
other and
point in
having one point of
security?
security. Yeah, nothing.
Right. So, as part of, see, the attack can come from any directions. Now, what I'm trying to do here is we are, first of all, making sure that this is being covered and only couple of entry and exit points are kept in this campus. So what will happen? None of the other people can enter into this campus in any other way, right? These are all not possible at all. If anybody wants to enter into this campus, the only possible way is what this, and maybe one of other area also they may keep it. But my point is, by closing the entrance and by ensuring that you have a couple of entrance only, you have the control like what? The traffic can go only this side. So what I mean to say, when there was no compound wall, people can come from any direction. I don't have enough resources to monitor everything. Now what happens, since I kept the compound wall, people can enter only at selected points, correct? So because of that, you can control, and why? Because the attack can come only from these areas. No other way the traffic can come in. I don't need to worry about. Even if something comes in, they cannot enter.
Correct.
Let me say one more example here. Let's say I have a web server. Okay.
Mhm.
Now I have a firewall or any of the device, a router. Okay. Router typically will allow all the traffic to pass through. Now, the traffic is coming to the web server on, let's say, TCP 25. What's the problem in allowing this traffic? TCP 25 is meant for what? SMTP. It's a mail traffic.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, but I have only the web services running on my server. Is there any problem or risk in allowing other application traffic to the web server?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
If allowing other traffic other
But
than the
anyway,
TCP.
this packet cannot be processed by the web server. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay. So what's the problem now? Even if I allow the traffic to pass through, after it reaches the web server, it sees that it is meant for the mail service. I don't have the mail service running on me. I cannot process further.
Correct.
So what's the risk?
It looks like no risk, but
Ah, but
it
there is a
looks
risk.
like, but there is risk.
There is a risk. There is a risk.
Yes.
So what I mean to say here is, when a visitor enters your office, okay, I'm a visitor, okay, I'm coming to your office to meet you. You're sitting somewhere. I'm giving the information to the receptionist that I'm here to meet late because I have some discussion. And then she is making the entries and all in her register. And then she is saying that you just need to wait in some place so that I can call an escort. And the escort will come and take you to late. Why that escort is required?
To make sure that you go to me only, not other.
Right? So
Correct.
what's the problem in allowing Gopi to somewhere else, even though he's meant for only to meet late? If I'm meeting someone else, what's the problem? There is a risk involved, correct or not?
Correct.
So what I mean to say, if I have a web server and I'm going to be allowing other application traffic towards that web server, even though it is not going to be processed by that web server, but still I have the responsibility of monitoring this traffic. To monitor this traffic, I need to reserve some resources. Why should I worry about reserving the resources for the unwanted traffic? So by blocking all the traffic except whatever we want, we can ensure that the resources can be reserved only for monitoring the traffic which we are interested in. Unwanted traffic, simply drop it. Let it be legitimate or malicious. It doesn't matter for me, right? If a visitor comes
Correct.
in, let's monitor only the allowed visitor. If the visitor is not allowed, why should I waste my escort resources to monitor him? I don't need to do that one. Right?
Correct.
See, one thing can also happen. It may say that I meant for mail service. Probably later, when it goes there, it can change its face that what it is meant for some other application. Unfortunately, that
Hmm.
service is running on that web server. They
And that's where
can
we're
make
gonna
use
have
of
an
it.
issue.
Yes. So we don't want these things to happen. So that's why the attack surface says allow only the traffic what is required. By having the visibility, you know what traffic is supposed to be allowed instead of allowing the traffic purely based on the source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, and protocol. Now I have the visibility of what application traffic is traveling through, which user is initiating the traffic, what level of content is being carried out in this packet. So you have that visibility. Based on that complete visibility, you take the call whether you want to allow this traffic or not. So by dropping out the unwanted traffic, I'm not saying the malicious traffic, the traffic which is not at all being expected by the organization, you can drop it there itself. Now, because of that, what will happen? You're reducing the attack surface. So the possibility of getting attacked by allowing only the genuine traffic that you believe that is genuine, you can reduce it. That's where the attack surface being reduced comes into picture. You're getting my point? That's what the second point,
Yes,
which is
sir.
called it as attacks, reducing the attack surface.
Use the attack surface.
The third point is going to be preventing known threats. What do you mean by known threats? If it is a known threat, why there is no protection mechanism? All right. What is the threat? Any idea?
Possible risk and threat.
Ah,
Uh, Usually known. All I know that the features like some firewalls block IPs by countries, by
ah,
region, for
geographical. Yes.
geographical.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So because it's known
Yes.
threat.
Okay. Like a criminal database with the police.
Yes.
They know. So the moment they see this guy, okay, this guy is having some record. Probably I may need to be very careful while handling him. Okay. Known threats. I typically take this example for explaining the known threats. Okay. See, the situations could be different in India and the country that you are living in. Now, here on the counter, we can buy some medicines. Is that
Yeah.
possible for you
Uh,
without
Not
prescription?
really. No, we have some over counter, but it's not
Okay.
effective.
Ah,
As you know, for we say for the like really regular stuff. Like if
ah, but
something deep
even
or sick, no, definitely need prescription. Yeah.
yes, even we have the practice here. Instead of going and asking the medicine with the doctor, so instead of consulting a doctor, we directly go to the pharmacy and then we ask for medicine. I'm having a little bit of cold. Can you please give me some tablets for that?
Yeah,
Here it
yeah, that's
happens, but you cannot expect that in many countries.
correct. And
Even though,
Iraq too.
yes,
Yeah.
the,
We
the
get injection.
diagnosis part always needs to be done by a doctor. A physician has the rights to diagnose it. And then he has to sit with the pharmacist to derive what combination of medicines we have to give it to this patient so that he can be recovered from that illness. This is the practice. But don't expect this in India. India is little bit different.
Yeah.
Sometimes we prepare medicine at home. Normally, I don't take,
Yeah.
I don't take medicines, the allopathy medicines. I take the naturopathy
Yeah.
and the homemade herbs. That's what
Oh
I
yeah,
normally
these
take.
are
Okay.
these are the best.
Okay. Now, the point is the known threats. If I go to a pharmacy, nowadays it looks like a supermarket for me because those many medicines are available. For what? For the all known illness, you have the medicines, correct?
Correct.
Okay. If even though it looks like a supermarket, the medical shops are becoming larger in size nowadays because they have a lot of medicines. Okay. Now, even though you have these many number of medicines, still new diseases are coming up for which we don't have medicine at all. Correct?
Correct.
For all the known illness or the diseases, we have medicine. I call it as known threats here. Like what? If I have an antivirus, okay, it has something called as signatures. What is the signature? Signature is nothing but a pattern of a virus. If this pattern is there, then it is a virus, right? And I also have a mechanism to clean that virus. That's what the antivirus will do. Antivirus has a huge signature database. Even though I have a huge signature database, but still there is something called as zero-day attacks or zero-day malwares. Can antivirus identify the zero-day malware? No, it cannot, because basically it is a signature-based detection mechanism. That is what is being used by the antivirus. You're getting my point? So obviously, we have to prevent unknown threats as well. Prevent unknown threats.
Threats.
So when you have known threats, you have some kind of a pattern matching. That pattern matching can help you to find those threats. And of course, certain protection mechanisms could also be there. When you say unknown threats, how that could be protected? How do you, first of all, identify it? When you don't have a mechanism to identify it as a virus or an attack, how do you take some actions towards it? Okay. Now, the temperature is increasing in my body. What we typically call this as
Fever.
fever. Okay. What are all the possible reasons for fever?
Flu.
No, no. What are the
Cold.
possible reasons
Possible reasons.
for fever?
Sitting maybe in a getting
Okay.
sick.
Okay. See, uh, just for your information, I'm an acupuncturist. Okay.
Okay.
In acupuncture, fever has a different meaning. Fever means good. Fever is not bad
Oh,
because your
okay.
body is fighting against some external organisms inside your body. When it is seriously working, your body temperature will increase. Right? So you just need to support your body to fight against those things so that you have a permanent cure. So your immunity power is for what? Okay. I know this is not acupuncture class.
That's it.
All right. Now, so let's say that, okay, the fever may come because of many reasons, right? So you have a viral fever, you have bacterial fever, you have if you have infection, still the fever will come. There are so many reasons why you are getting fever, like the headache. Headache is not because of a single reason, right? So headache, if you don't sleep properly, you'll have headache. If you don't eat properly, you'll get headache,
Okay.
right? If you, some people may get headache because if they walk in, what's it called, during the, what do you call it as,
Like,
there are many reasons. You understand that part, right?
yeah, yeah.
But still, there are unidentified reasons for these things. For the known diseases, we have the medicine. Okay, if I get a headache, I'm just going to be taking a medicine. But what is the root cause for it? Okay, now after a few classes, you may have an understanding that how do I speak? How do I behave in a class? Correct? Similarly, I have a
Correct.
better understanding of late inside a class, how he behaves.
Correct.
Okay, now if I'm not feeling well, obviously, if I'm having some fever and all, obviously, you know, it is not going to be normal, right?
Hmm.
If I'm not feeling well, my behavior may not be normal as like in the previous classes. If I'm mentally disturbed, do you think I'm going to be behaving normal?
No.
Okay. Now, as as a person, you have already seen me. You can differentiate what is normal behavior and what is abnormal behavior of me.
Behavior. Correct.
Right? So here also we call this as anomalies.
Animal.
This anomalies basically is going to be used by the security mechanisms, security features to differentiate whether this is a normal behavior of the protocol or not. If this is normal behavior, then I may not be considering this as a possible threat. If it is an abnormal behavior, I may consider this could be a possible threat. Then I will go for additional investigation on the traffic. When I say anomalies, it's not that only the protocol anomaly. I can also go for the traffic anomalies. What I mean to say,
Animal.
while you're going to office, is that a peak hour over there?
Hmm.
How much traffic you can expect on a normal day, on a busy day? And then
Uh, 45. Yeah, like 45 minutes.
that is a
If
normal.
over,
That is your
that's the norm.
normal.
Yeah,
What if one of the day it takes around 2 hours to reach your office?
definitely something wrong.
Something wrong. So something wrong means I have my suspect on the traffic. I'm suspecting something bad is there in the traffic. Then I may go
But
for
we
some
don't know what
additional
it is.
inspection. Yes, that is
Yeah.
where unknown threats comes into picture. So Palo Alto have these four components while they develop the technology towards securing your infrastructure. So they say that you need to have the complete visibility of the traffic. They say that you have to reduce the attack surface so that
Backups.
your security mechanisms will be more effective. Don't allow everything. Even though you have the technology in place to see the everything, don't allow everything.
Don't
Uh,
allow everything.
Allow only what you want, right? And then
Right.
you have to have some mechanisms to fight against the known threats as well as unknown threats. Got it?
Got it.
All right. Now, the next thing what we need to understand is the portfolio. Hope you know what is portfolio. You have any financial portfolio?
I'm trying. Trust me. It's not easy. It's,
But
yeah,
you're doing it, right? So you know
yeah.
where
I,
I'm coming in, where I'm getting into.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so portfolio is nothing but the range of products.
Mhm,
When I say financial portfolio, the income possibilities, right? So I may be working in one company. I'm not supposed to work in another company as per the policy, but probably I would have invested the earnings from one of the company in some other places so that I can get the income from there also. Without, I'm not going to be working for that company, but still I have invested something over there.
mhm.
Probably I would have purchased a property, I would have rented out, and because of that, I may get some additional income from that also. Right? I would have invested in my share market. I would have invested in gold. I would have invested in many areas so that my income can be from different sources. That's what I typically call it as a financial portfolio.
Financial
Similarly,
portfolio.
think about a model, right?
Mhm.
Have any preferred model?
Yeah, I don't remember names, but yeah, I know like model portfolio. They have all the measurement and pictures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now here, when I say portfolio, Palo Alto Networks, network security portfolio, all right? So they have various technologies in place. See, you cannot expect everything to be done by a single product. Okay, I have a Palo Alto firewall, everything can be done. No, nowadays the infrastructure is changing a lot. What I mean to say, see, I'm coming from, fortunately, I would say that I have seen the complete transformation. See, traditionally, even a person who is buying a PC, first thing what do they do is they will see in India, AC is optional, even though it's hot, but not all the homes are having AC. But if you're
Oh,
buying a PC, right, you are a rich person in India. I'm not now, I'm just talking about in 90s. So
before, okay.
if you're buying a PC, you are the richest person over there. And obviously, what do they do is one of the requirement for keeping the PC at home is air conditioning the room. That is mandatory so that you can
Oh,
stagger the dust and all. So you keep the room, what is it called, required, like a data center. The temperature
yeah,
is not
like
going.
cold, yeah, temperature.
Yes. And then you buy the PC and keep it over there. Right? That's one of the basic requirement. By that time, if you see the servers, all of them are physical. There was no choice at all. So physical servers were there, physical and physical servers were there. Over a period of time, what happened, this physical server, they changed their form. Even though they are physical, they can be virtualized. On one physical hardware, I can have multiple servers. What I mean to say, I don't know, since you're coming from Cisco background, you know about Cisco UCS, right?
Never worked on it, but kind of,
But you know what it is.
yeah,
Okay.
yes,
They
yes.
are nothing but the servers, okay? See, if I take the base server, can you see how much RAM I have? Capacity of the one.
Wow, 12 terabyte memory.
This is one server, and this is a blade. Why I'm calling it as a blade? This is like my chassis. Can you see this chassis?
That's only one, yeah.
In chassis, this is one server.
So it has eight.
So think about how much RAM you could have and how many CPU cores you can have. The base itself is having around what?
Mhm.
Around 40
12,
cores.
40 cores. Oh, up to 40. Wow.
Okay. Then if I go for additional models, you can see a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's the.
Right. So my point is, why this much amount of resources they have? Even I do remember I have installed the Windows 3.1 on a PC with 8 MB of RAM.
It's,
8 MB,
so
not
that's
GB, 8 MB of RAM. By that time, we used to have EDOs, non-EDO RAMs and all.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, my laptop, I have around 16 GB of RAM on my, sorry, 18 GB of RAM. It's unified memory.
Yeah.
18 GB of memory. Of course, 32 gigs, 64 gigs are there on the user machine. Then think about the capacity of the server. Now, the user PC itself is having this capacity. Then what will happen for the server? Server will be highly resourced.
Mhm.
Now, why do they
Definitely.
do it? They just wanted to have more number of servers. If you are having more number of physical servers, the physical space requirement is also going to be increasing, right? Nowadays, we have something called as data center, data warehouses. So if you see them, huge data center, you may need to have that electric scooter to travel inside the data center. Okay. Now, if I don't have this virtualization support, what would happen? I know I'm talking a lot of theory, but it gives an idea why
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to go for it. Okay. So by virtualizing a server, physical component can be one. Within that physical component, you can have multiple servers running because the physical servers are having a lot of resources that can be added into it.
Mhm.
Now, we also have the concept of serverless computing.
Services computing.
You will have
That's
a program code hanging. That is the newest,
yeah.
what we call it as cloud-based services. We used to say that one serverless computing. How come serverless computing could be possible? Yes, it is possible.
Oh,
All right.
outdated.
Now, so what we are trying to say, instead of a physical server for each and every service, I have a physical server. I can have multiple virtual servers created inside it. So from the physical server, we moved into virtualized servers, right? From virtualized servers, we moved into containers. You heard about containers?
No.
Okay. How about virtualization? Any idea? Like
Yeah.
VMware,
Some. Yeah, yeah.
Hyper-V. Okay, like
Hyper-V.
this Citrix Zen there are many things are there. But my point here is, when I do virtualize, again, I'm going to be having an operating system as like a physical server. On top of that, the applications are going to be installed, right? Similarly, when I go for containers, it is not like a virtual machine. In virtual machine, if you're running an operating system, the resources required for running that operating system completely needs to be reserved. See, why do we need an operating system? Again, a lot of debates are there. Unwanted services could also be running on it. So unnecessarily, lot of resources can be utilized in virtual machines. When it comes to the container, whatever the components are required to run that application, only those will be enabled on that containers. So at a minimal resources, you can run the applications. So
So,
physical servers, you need more of rack space. Virtual servers, with the minimal rack space, you can run multiple servers. Further with the containers, even with the minimal resources, you can run multiple
resources.
servers. Say, for example, in a one server, if I'm running 10 virtual machines, if I go with the containers, I can run 100 virtual machines.
Wow.
So that's the beauty of containers. Now we have moved into cloud as well, right?
Uh,
So of course, when I say virtual machines, those are all part of cloud as well. In cloud, whatever we create is a virtual machine, though the terminology could be different. See, for a single component, you may have, for a single item, for a single object, you may have multiple names. We have a local comedy. When I say poo, right? Poo means flower in my language.
oh, okay.
Okay. We also have another name for it. This is also called flower.
Okay.
Whether I say poo or pushpam, it doesn't matter. I'm pointing the same object, correct? I'm referring the same object.
Correct.
Whether I say virtual machine or a cloud EC2 instances, both are same. This is being created on a physical server in my premises. When I say EC2 instances, those are being created on the cloud, depending on whether you have AWS or Azure or
Or
whatever,
Azure. Okay.
right? Okay, so what Palo Alto says that you have a physical what do you call it as you have a physical infrastructure. I can give you a physical firewall to safeguard it. Do you have a virtualized infrastructure? Yes, I can give you a virtual infrastructure, virtual firewall towards it,
Oh, wow.
right?
Okay.
You have a
Right.
container, I can give you a container-based firewall to you. And you are in cloud, I can give you a cloud firewall. Doesn't matter what kind of infrastructure that you have. So Palo Alto Network Security portfolio says the next generation firewall is the foundation of Palo Alto Networks product portfolio,
Uh,
right?
mhm.
Okay, so next generation firewall. What is the next generation firewall? Don't worry. Today I'm going to be sharing another video to you. Um, that will give you the security fundamental understanding. I'll give you those
Okay.
information. Okay, but
Sure.
don't worry. You sleep well. Tomorrow you can watch
Okay.
it. Oh, right. So we have
Okay.
next generation firewall for the virtual machine. We have VM series.
Mhm.
Next generation firewall. Yes, for the containers, I have CN series next generation firewall. When I say CN, it is nothing but container, not Cartoon Network. Okay.
Container. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, again, this cloud, this is also cloud delivered security services are available. We call this as Prisma, right? So when you get
Prisma.
into the cloud, obviously you will be knowing about all these things. Right. So I have variety of firewalls in place, and one of the component is called as Panorama.
Yeah, we
Panorama
use Panorama.
is a centralized management solution as well as logging solution. So our focus is not going to be on Panorama. Hope you received the content, right? EDU 210. Let me.
So let me check it. But in my environment, they wanted to get Prisma, but they didn't. Uh, they're not going to. But we have Panorama installed.
Oh, why?
They said like it's expensive for them, and we have a third party already doing that. The SD-WAN.
Oh, okay,
So they didn't. Yeah. So, but we have Panorama. It's like
okay,
because we have like about 60 sites, and we have different.
okay, okay. This is what our focus is all about. Okay, EDU
Okay.
210.
Yeah.
So this is
Sounds good.
totally we have. This is what we are in actually speaking, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm yet to complete the portfolio. We will
Okay.
see the rest of the things by tomorrow.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh, for
uh-huh.
tomorrow, I have my brother coming from for a